Lesson 82, we're going to look at more applications of trigonometry. Now to refresh, SOHCAHTOA, that's our acronym. And so, the S stands for sine of theta, O is opposite, H is hypotenuse. So sine of theta equals opposite divided by hypotenuse. Okay? Ka, meaning cosine of theta, that equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And then tangent of theta equals opposite over adjacent. Now theta, if you remember, is just your starting point. That is your degrees that you're starting from. So, say we're in example 1, and it says find theta. Previously, we've had this degree, and we've had to figure out a side length. So in order to find theta, okay, which of these three from theta uses the opposite, because 12 is opposite, and notice 15 is across from the right angle, so therefore it's the hypotenuse. So which one of these three uses the opposite and hypotenuse? Well, in this case, we would use sine. Now here's how you plug it in. What we're going to do is say sine of theta, we're solving for theta, sine of theta equals opposite, that's 12, over hypotenuse, 15. So we're at sine of theta equals 12 over 15. I can reduce that if I would like. You don't have to. But where it gets different, we have to get theta by itself because we're solving for theta. These two right here are being multiplied. So it's actually sine times theta. Remember, sine of theta, of means multiply in math. So sine times theta, in order to solve, you're actually doing the opposite, so you divide by sine. Now what that does is we call that the inverse of sine. And we identify that with a little -1 there. So inverse of sine times 12 over 15 equals theta. And then from there, you simply put it in your calculator. So if you see sine, if you see just above it, sorry, my finger's covering it, just above it, there's a little blue sign that says sine -1. So in order to get there, I'm going to click second, sine, then it opens up the parentheses, and I'll put in 12 divided by 15. And we get 53 degrees. So theta is roughly 53 degrees. And that's all you do. You're really just plugging it into the calculator. We'll do one more. We want to find theta in this one. Okay. Want to find theta. So from here, okay, from theta, do we use opposite over hypotenuse? No, we could find x, but we can just use the two we have. So we're not going to use sine. Do we use adjacent over a hypotenuse for cosine? Well, yes we do. So we're going to use cosine of theta equals adjacent 15 over hypotenuse 37. Remember, adjacent is just the side length that is connected to theta. That is not the hypotenuse. Alright? So to get theta by itself, divide by cosine. So that's the inverse of cosine. So inverse cosine g over 37 equals theta. Plug that into our calculator. Second cosine, 15 divided by 37 is roughly 66 degrees. There's our answer, and that's all you have to do when you're solving for an angle with trigonometry.